Okay, boys and girls, so today in math, we're moving on to the next lesson, which is lesson 1.3. So most of you should have your Go Math books. It's the cute book with the two bunny rabbits on the cover of it. And today, we're gonna learn to show and count the numbers 3 and 4 with objects. So today we're gonna go back to using the 5 frames. And that's another reason why I posted on our Google Classroom the Apple 10 frames for you to start working with that at home, okay? So on the third slide here.
257, and please, I apologize for a couple of announcements that have to be made.
Sorry.
During a fire drill, you cannot lock your doors. You can close them, but they cannot be locked, as we must check the rooms to make sure there's no one left behind. 2, we're having a serious problem in regards to contacting parents. We need at least one blue card filled out per student, and then we need them to fill out the online blue emergency card. So please make sure that we get this done. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Sorry, boys and girls. So families, if you have not emailed me your virtual blue card, I'm gonna remind you my email address. I'll send it out to you later today because the office does need it on file, okay? All right, as I was saying, on the third slide is where I will post our video lesson here, and we're gonna get started with today's lesson. So,
how can you show and count 3 and 4 with objects?
Howdy! Cher is eating her breakfast. Yum! She loves to eat dandelions. But she's only hungry enough to eat 4 dandelions. Click on the clump of dandelions to see them better. That's better. How many is 4? I'd like to know. Let's learn how to show and count 3 and 4 with objects.
Ava sees 3 toys. How can you use counters to show each of the toys Ava sees? You can use counters to show the toys. Click to place one counter on each of the toys. 1, 2, 3. You used 3 counters to show 3 toys. Now you can move the counters into a 5 frame. Click the first counter to move it. 1, 2, 3. You showed 3 counters in the 5 frame. The 3 counters in the 5 frame stand for the 3 toys. How many counters do you use to show 4 toys? Click to place one counter on each of the toys. 1, 2, 3, 4. You used 4 counters to show 4 toys. Now you can move the counters into the 5 frame. Click the first counter.
I want everyone to observe that the counters that are being moved into the 5 frame, pay attention to where they put the first one. The first one is very important. Always remember that it goes in the very first box, not at the end of the 5 frame, but at the very beginning.
1, 2, 3, 4. You show 4 counters in the 5 frame. The 4 counters in the 5 frame represent the 4 toys. You used 3 counters to show 3 toys, and 4 counters to show 4 toys. How many counters do you have? Move the counters to the 5 frame and count them.
So Ms. Cash is going to move each of these counters that are above the 5 frame, and I'm going to place them each into a box into the 5 frame.
1, 2, 3. You have 3 counters. When you count to 3, 3 is the last number you say. 1, 2, 3. Now there are yellow counters to count. How many do you have? Move these counters to the 5 frame and count them.
Now again, Miss Castro is going to move the yellow counters this time into the 5 frame. And pay very close attention to where the first one goes.
1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 counters. When you count to 4, you say 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is the last number you say. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is one more than 3. You have one more yellow counter than red counters.
All right, so now we're going to work from our book. If you have the book with you, you can follow along with me. If you don't have it with you, don't worry. You could just look at the screen, okay? So in our math books, we are working on lesson 1.3, which is found on page 25. So you're on the page where you see the horses and the dragons. Now, what Ms. Kasha is going to do is I'm going to look at the horses first because the horses are at the top of the page. So that's what they want us to work on first. So you're going to watch Ms. Kasha. When I make a dot on each horse, it's because I'm using my magic finger. So boys and girls, always remember that when you're counting in math, use your magic finger, okay? So you can follow along in your math books as I do it on the screen, okay? Ms. Castro is going to count the horses first. So I have 1, 2, 3. So Ms. Castro counted 3 horses. So now Ms. Castro has to show the 3 horses in the 5 frame. So I'm going to draw circles and I'm going to label them with the numbers to show the 3 horses. So I'm going to start with the first box in the 5 frame. 1, 2, 3. So I just showed the number 3 with the 5 frame. So if you have your books, boys and girls, you can go ahead and follow along and do it with me, okay? All right, now we're going to go down to the bottom of the page with the dragons. Follow along with your magic finger as I'm counting. I'm going to make dots on the red dragons, and you're going to follow with your magic finger, and we're going to count to see how many dragons we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Ms. Castro counted 4 dragons, and now I'm going to show the number 4 in the 5 frame. Starting with the first box. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 red dragons. I will let you work on that for the next few seconds, and then we're going to move on to the next page. All right, here we go. Now our job is to continue counting the objects that they're showing us here. So watch Miss Castro as she's doing it on the smartboard. I'm going to count these brown horses now. You follow with your magic finger as I make these dots. 1, 2, 3. So Miss Castro and the boys and girls, we all have 3 brown horses. So now I'm going to trace the number 3. To trace the number 3, you start at the blue dot. You go up, around, in, back out, and around. And that's how you form the number 3. Now I have to show the 3 horses in the 5 frame. So I'm going to draw my circles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you see Miss Castro on the screen that I'm doing my work. You guys see it? Okay, good. I see Elijah has his thumb up. Jake's good. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Just making sure. All right. So now we're going to go down to the bottom of the page where you see the yellow sun with the number 2. So here they want us to count a different type of animal. Turtles. It's probably Tommy Tortoise from our fable that we just heard in reading. So we're going to count the turtles here on the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. We counted 4 turtles. So now we're going to trace the number 4. The number 4 has 2 blue dots. So you're going to start with the one that's on the left side. Look at where Miss Castro is starting to trace the number 4. Okay? Then you have to pick up your pencil, put it on the other blue dot, and then make a line all the way straight down, and there you have the number 4. Now I'm going to show you how to make 4 in the 5 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so today we're learning how to represent the numbers 3 and 4, and we're practicing using the 5 frames, okay? So I'll give you a few seconds to finish that up, and then we're going to continue on to the next page. Elijah, thank you for showing me your work. I love it. Very nice. Good, good. All right, this time, Gracie Mani, great job too. Good, so boys and girls, as you see, Miss Castro, the way that I am doing the 5 frames, the way that I'm filling it in, you have to make circles. So that's why it's very important for you to know your shapes. Good job, Alina. And you have to label the circles. That means that you have to put the number inside of the circle to show how much we have, okay? Those are 2 very important things to remember. Illustrate the circle, that means you draw the circle, and then you label it, that means you put the number in each circle to show what number it is, all right? Let's go over to the green leaf with the number 3, okay? So where the green leaf is with the number 3, they are showing us the number that they want us to trace. Raise your hand if you can identify that number for us, please. Who would like to share with us? What number do you see there where the green leaf is? Go ahead, Alina. Unmute yourself and tell us what number it is that we have to trace.
It's the number 3.
Good. Excellent job. So everyone's going to trace the number 3, and we're going to show 3 in the 5 frame. So if we have the number 3, that means that we have to make 3 circles in the 5 frame, starting with the first box. 1, 2, 3. Okay? If by some chance, boys and girls, if you're writing your numbers backwards, it's okay. Like I said before, when you make mistakes, that means you're learning. So that's good that you're making mistakes. That just means that you have to practice a little bit more, okay? So if you're writing your numbers backwards, it's okay. Don't get frustrated. You have all day to keep practicing writing your numbers the right way, okay? Now, let's look at the blue flower with the number 4. There is a number there that they would like for us to trace. Who can share with us what number are they showing us? Let's see, Elijah, I see your hand up. Go ahead, Elijah. What number do they want us to trace?
4.
4 is correct. Very good, Elijah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to trace the number 4 first. Start with the blue dot that's all the way to the left. Go down, across, pick up your pencil, put your pencil back on the other blue dot, and go straight down. So now that I have the number 4, I'm going to illustrate 4 circles in this 5 frame. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is how we represent the number 4 with the 5 frame. Next question, the purple butterfly with the number 5. Who can tell us what number that is? Riley, go ahead, sweetie. Unmute yourself and share with us what number is that?
4.
Very good, Riley. So, Riley, if we have the number 4, how many circles do we draw in the 5 frame?
4.
4. Very good, Riley. So, boys and girls, first you're going to trace the number 4, and then you're going to illustrate 4 circles in the 5 frame. Miss Kasha is going to do it on the board for you to follow along. And last but not least, we have the number 6 with the brown acorn. Kimora, I think I saw your hand up. Do you want to share with us what number that is, Kimora? Go ahead.
3.
3 is correct. Now, Kimora, if they gave us the number 3, how many circles do we draw in the 5 frame?
3.
Very good, sweetie. Excellent job, Kimora. So everyone trace the number 3 and then illustrate 3 in the 5 frame using circles, and make sure to label with numbers. All right, we're gonna stop there. The next page, boys and girls, you can do in your own time later on today, but these first 3 pages are the most important pages that are gonna help you with tonight's Google Classroom assignment, okay? So I'm going to share my presentation with you. I'm gonna get off of this here, and I'm gonna show you the presentation. So we saw today's lesson, we did today's work. Like I said, the last page, you can work on that on your own time. Today's Google Classroom assignment. If you have the Go Math book, which most of you do, the 2 assignments that you're gonna do are these 2 pages, pages 29 and 30, okay? If you do not have the Go Math book, or if you would like to practice more, you're gonna do these 2 pages. It's page 1-27 and 1-28, okay? That's if you do not have the math books. Or if you would like to do more work, feel free to do more work and you can do this, okay? You guys did a great job. I'm very proud of you. That's it for today for math. So make sure you keep practicing the numbers 3 and 4 at home as well. Great job, boys and girls.